Alright, first thing I'm going to do is take this track out here, and I think I've shown you before in one of the videos, if you're in a similar situation where you've used caulk to pin down your track to your roadbed, and for whatever reason you need to take your track up and preserve the roadbed. I mean, I found the best way to do it is take a utility knife and start running it underneath the track like that. Just like that. Do one side and then do the other. Like that. Be very careful not to cut into the caulk and into the cork. Just run the blade under. Just like that. Ooh, probably driving you crazy. The squeaking noise, like fingernails on the blackboard, but you kind of get the idea what I'm doing here. And yeah, usually the track is toast after you've done taking it up. No reusing it unless you've got short segments. So you see it's coming up nicely. Short segments that can you use in sidings and yard and stuff like that. And actually, if you wanted to, model a beat-up siding, then this used track works fine. May have kinks in it, may have dips, and that's not necessarily unprototypical either. So yeah, it is possible to recycle pieces like those. You know, even after they may not be mainline worthy anymore, but you can still use them. Figure out ways to use them. So. Run it, continue to run it underneath that. So I still want to be careful about if I pull this up. Oops. Oh, I'm off camera now. Let's just give it a little bit more of a better view there. Here we go. So it goes through here. And then, let me stop right there. I got that joint right here. I think I may have soldered that, so I'm gonna have to. No, I didn't. Okay. See? Comes right off, just like that. So yeah, if you wanted to keep your road bed, that'd be the way to do it. And then once you've taken your track off, take a block of wood, piece of 60 grit sandpaper, and just sand it smooth. That's how you do it if you want to keep your road bed. But in this case, whoops, sorry about that. I don't care. I'm just going to take a good stiff putty knife and just scrape the road bed off. And if you haven't used gratuitous amounts of glue to glue down your road bed, it should come off fairly easy. I try to be a bit, try not to glue too heavily, just in case I need to take it off at some time. But obviously just enough to hold it on. See, it comes up pretty easy. Not too bad. Now, see, I wonder if I didn't use. I think in some of these pieces I may have used contact cement. It still feels kind of tacky. I think contact cement. You coat one side of your road bed, and you coat it, then coat your substrate, and it'll just stick on just like that. So I think some of this I may have used contacts in it, but that's not a big deal. Here. So it's really easy. Now, if you were using HO scale, you probably, or even O scale, you might have, a bit more work to do. Just because of the sheer size of the scale. That's fine. All right. Let me take my little sanding block here. I could probably use an orbital sander for this, but I try not to use that inside the layout area just because it kicks up an awful lot of dust. And yeah, it might be faster or easier, but it's just kind of a mess. Alright, now I've got my first little problem here. It's that right here I've soldered feeder wires to this track here, so I'm thinking I don't necessarily want to pull this out because this is all soldered together already. So what I think I might do is gap the rails right here, and that'll be far enough back because then I'll start tapering things down. I'm going to basically cut the profile and the road bed out a little bit. I'm actually going to pull this in a little bit more so it's not quite as far away from the main line, just a little bit closer, maybe about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and then start tapering it down, probably starting around here. So let me go get my Dremel motor tool, go ahead and gap this, and then I'll go ahead and pull this track off up until the gap. Actually, I think I've had a change of mind here about gapping the rail. If I remember correctly, I believe I soldered the joiners to the turnout rather than to this track here. So I'm just going to take it off completely, and this way it'll allow me to run one longer section rather than splice it together, though even though that might not necessarily be unprototypical to have this stuff kind of spliced together and kind of messy looking because it's a siding, an older siding. So let me do that. Take this off. It'll actually give me a little bit more room. Start tapering the rail down. So do that. We'll find out. We'll find out if my memory is correct. If not, you'll get to see me figure out how to solve another problem. Whoops! Oh, that's clearly toast. Alright, here. Probably just caught a nice shot of my shoulder there. Let's go underneath. Since I don't have enough room to really pry underneath, I got to do multiple times from this side. So do it from here, like that. Careful now not to cut into the other track. And oh darn! Guess what? I did solder it on there. Okay, I was wrong. Not the first time I was wrong, but won't be the last either. This is not impossible to solve. You can't solve this. I just need a hot soldering iron to do it. Be right back.